priest in the mosque or somebody in some religious position. That never happened. But after coming out of the army, something was waiting for me. They wanted me to take up a responsibility and move on. We did our best. We published articles against Christians. Jesus was not crucified on the cross. He was died in Kashmir. We have publications. My old name, before I met Jesus, my name used to be Sayyid Muhammad Ansar Hussain, was my name. So my full name is Sayyid Muhammad Ansar Hussain, come from Sayyid family, and I was being led in a very different way from childhood. Anyhow, God knows what it was. Then one of these days, all we were doing activities to promote Islamic youth movement and try to do everything against the others. One fine evening or late evening or late night, you can say about after 10 o'clock night, I was writing letters. While writing letters to the youth leaders of districts, all of a sudden my whole body warmed up. I was sweating. Well, my house has air conditioning, sweating inside the air conditioning. And all of a sudden I start feeling cold. I don't know, my abnormality on my body. The next, I tried to call someone from my family. My voice didn't come out of my throat. It was stuck here. So I tried to rise up. When I couldn't rise up, my body was fixed. I was shocked. What is happening to me? I can't talk. I can't rise. My body becomes stiff. And those abnormal feeling time, all of a sudden my eyesight gone dark and I couldn't see anything. But still I was hearing. I thought I'm dead. I was dead. So a similar feeling of death, that was I was feeling for. Then a few minutes later, I found myself falling down into a deep pit. It was a dark, thick darkness in the pit. I was falling down. I tried to call all the names of the saints I know. I called out the name of the prophets I know, called them out all. One name I left it, I didn't call, that was Jesus. I don't want to call Isa. The rest I like to call everyone. I call Yahya, I call everyone. I call everyone. And it didn't even left Isaiah, I call all. But at the same time, I didn't call Jesus. But last I saw that nothing is happening. I called that name, Isa al-Islam. If you are there, when I took this name, it shakes and stopped falling. Then I started seeing what is happening. So I saw the small light, thin light, the golden color, light coming from a pinhole, and I saw the threads of lights coming out. And that occupied the space. And inside that light, huge light, I saw a wooden cross came out, a wooden cross, and I saw the blood drops falling down. I could hear sound of the blood. Then slowly the blood speed up on the cross. And the cross was coming closer. I was so scared. I thought I was scared to death. I thought, yes, because of what I did wrong, am I going to die on the cross? I was so scared. I thought I would be killed on the cross. I had a voice when the cross was coming. He said, I have chosen you to bear my name among all nations. Wow. The next, I don't know what happened. When I came back to my senses, my parents admitted me to the mental hospital. I was in the mental hospital for 10 long days. In the mental hospital, I think I didn't behave well. That's all right. A place of mental people. Right? So I was kept inside the small cage. I asked the doctors and nurses to give me some literature, newspapers or magazine or book or something to kill the time, because the place is small. The next to it is a rest place and the bed is next, and the previous mad people have drawn some dirty things on the walls and too bad to stay there. Come out of that place. I was angry. I asked, nobody give me a book. And one day a beautiful young nurse came down to me and said, hi, and she smiled at me. I said, don't smile. Don't smile at me. She said, why? I said, you have no concern for me. She said, why? I said, if you have concern, bring me a book. Don't just show me your teeth. No, you never know people when they smile at you, what they mean. They love you or they want to bite you. So I said, don't just smile to me. So she said, no, I'm concerned for you. I said, then bring me a book. She said, you promised me you won't tear it off. I promised her. She brought a book, small book, from her home next day. That's a Gideon Prince, New Testament. I read Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and the book of Acts. I'm totally confused. I don't know who is who. The place or the name of a person, all mixed up. Philip is the name of the person. Philippi is the name of the place, and I was confused. And after confusion, you have a conversion, isn't it? After I got confused, I don't know what's happening. I read the book of Romans. When I read book of Romans, there I was enlightened. My life changed from there.
Amen.
Especially book of Romans. Are they all right? Anointed? So, well, when I read book of Romans, especially chapter 6, 7, and 8, I couldn't read beyond that. I come back to 6, 7, and 8, 6, 7, and 8, 6, 7, and 8, because that really changed my life. I went back to my childhood, 9 years old boy. You know, from my childhood, in my family, my parents my one side parents, my mother's side parents wanted me, my grandparents wanted me to become Hifzul Quran, Hafiz, you know, the one who memorized the Quran. So in the young days, I was in madrasa too, part-time. I studied the secular education, studied the religious education in my childhood. So the evenings are recitation times, mornings recitation time, and afternoon, the whole day to school. You know, I was worked out the whole day. The Lord is good.
Amen.
He picked me from the young days. He introduced me to the Quran, and I learned Quran in my young days. My grandfather, mother's father, maternal grandfather, is a chief priest, is a mufti. So a lot of theological discussions at home, hadith, Quran, and everything. I used to be a small child, play around, move around while they discuss, and overhear and heard many things, and remember few things in the memory. So when I went, 9 years old, went to the mosque in the month of Ramadan for the evening prayer. That's called Taraweeh Namaz, that they have the recitation of Quran in the evening prayer. The Quran is divided into 13 sections, each para, the class, and one para every day, and two hafiz will say half a para. So one para they will say every evening of the month of Ramadan. While I was sitting there, my teacher, religious teacher, who teaches me Tunisia, I know in Tunisia in Arabic we say Qiraat, Qari, you know, the one who taught me the tune, Qiraat. His name is Qari Yusuf, very famous scholar. He teaches us, when you read Quran, you can't read just word, you have to go with the tune, up, down, stress. So he sat next to me and he was doing the wuzu as well. So when he came up, it really confused me because my teacher next to me, you don't know what is happening. So I was doing my wuzu, say say the prayer, and I was just washing my body. He asked me, Ansar, show me your hand first, show my hand. He said, between your fingers, the water didn't go well.
Oh.
That's very important. They always, in winters, water is thicker than before and doesn't go well. So I took the water and put it like that. He said, no, start everything from the beginning. That really makes me mad. I said, sir, why? So he said, you need a proper cleansing before you pray. So I asked him, sir, if physical cleansing is so important, what cleanses my niyat, my